Tokozani, peace and greetings, everyone. I am Makosi Gogo Ateo Ganyezi, the founder and creator of Afrikan Mysteries School. And today I have with me one of my lovely instructors within Afrikan Mysteries School, none other than the beautiful Miss Tracey Bryant Swint. I'm so happy to have you here today to discuss with us what you're going to be bringing into Afrikan Mystery School. And yeah, I'm just so happy that I have you signed on. And let's just go ahead and get right into it. If you could tell me just a little bit just about your journey and your path into womb work and how you got to where you are today.
Okay, well, I've always been about women, women's empowerment. I remember this was early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. I was always been about women, always been about Punani power, always been about, I was always just kind of tapped into that energy. Even growing up as a kid, I was just tapped in to that energy, which was a blessing and a curse, being very young. And with that, I remember taking a women's studies and a women's history class and women in religion. And I took all three in one semester when I was in college in the early 90s. And I remember getting this book. It was a required reading called When Woman Was God by Merlin Stone. And it connected with me. It connected with my DNA. And so then I went into Black Women in Antiquity by Ivan Van Sertima. Then I read Bara Shango's work of, Black women being the guardian angel. So I just started going in, and then I read Mama Wata, Mama Zogby's, Mama Wata, and just, the Sibyls, and just, it was one thing after another. And then I always been tapped in, like I said, to my sensuality as a woman and my feminine vibration and my sexuality. And I knew that sex was the engine in which how all of us got here to earth, and that's something that's being denied in our sexuality is being denied, and it needs to a healthy vehicle. So with that, I created Honey Love Romance and More. And it was a romance boutique in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And it was everything sensual, sexual, and feminine, And it was a place where women can come and we can talk about, sexual issues, sexual trauma, sexual likes, sexual dislikes. It was a place where we can communicate this without feeling shame, guilt, or fear. So with this being a healthy vibration and the women taking hold of that, I seen that we had an element that wasn't being addressed, and that was more of the trauma. And I noticed a lot of women could not find the medicine in their pleasure with their husbands and their lovers because they had so much trauma. And so I went in to find out what was this trauma? What is this trauma about? What is like the real undercurrent? Because here in the West, in the medical, organization, what they do, they give you a pill. They only deal with symptoms. And it was like I wanted to go layer from layer under that. I just didn't want to deal with the symptom. Yeah, we know the symptom. Hell, I'm sick, but what, why, why am I feeling like this? Why is this coming up for me? And then you had some women who didn't even experience sexual trauma, but had trauma. And it got deep for me. And me having a license in social work and human sexuality, I went to rape crisis outreach to go take classes so that I can be a rape crisis counselor. Okay, so I wanted to deal with women in this sexual trauma that 4 out of 5 women have, and it's something, especially with us Africans here in America, it's something that's not exposed as much. You know what I'm saying? Where I feel it needs to be. We're oftentimes we've had trauma-based situations in our families, and we're told not to talk about it. And it happened to mama, mama's okay. It happened to grandma, grandma's okay. It's like, hold up, why is Uncle Bubba still allowed to come to the family function and get a plate, and nobody, tax that ass? What's happening here? And what the ancestors downloaded into me is that it comes from a plantation culture that we all have. We all have, we don't have necessarily a culture here in the Americas. And it is a plantation culture. And that's where that comes from. So this thing with this abuse, sexual abuse, runs very, very deep. So I had the romance boutique, and I took my classes, and I was able to help women in the area of trauma, not just pleasure, but also trauma. And I had what I needed to assist them. And what I didn't have, I would suggest that they go to rape crisis outreach. I had some other resources for them. So with that, I got to studying more about how to heal this trauma. How do we go from under the surface of symptoms and go to trauma? And I heard about yoni vaginal steaming. Mm-hmm. And I met a beautiful sister by the name of Thema Aziz Sarwet of the Womb Sauna. And I called her, and me and her got to sharing information and interfacing and interchanging. And I was, sharing information about sexuality, and she was sharing information about womb health. And we just were vibing and had great things going on. And I wanted to go to the womb sauna, and I seen something come up on Facebook where there was a class in Atlanta for 4 days that was teaching yoni vaginal steaming and womb health. And I was like, oh, wow, and it was the season where my money was nice. I was like, go ahead, do it. And I went to Yoni Steam Institute. Shout out to my mentor and instructor, Ajala, which we also know as Satra, who's the ocean priestess, and Mama Sonovia. I stayed 4 days, and they shared the knowledge of the mothers with me. Mm-hmm. And in coming to this work, I've gotten so many downloads, and so many ancestral downloads, but not just ancestral downloads. I've gotten spiritual downloads, angelic downloads, but most of all, the mothers have really initiated me into this work. So, and that's how I got into it. Yeah.
I love that. And it started with that calling and desire, to have that answer come to you, and that search, right? So I think that's powerful that you just took step by step, and that's really what it's about, taking step by step.
I can't hear you right now. See if something happened over here. No, mine is up. Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know, the sound sometimes goes in and out, but I was saying, I'm really, that's really how it starts, with that first step into your journey, that first desire. So the fact that you had this burning question within, and that really started your path. That's what it sounds like to me. And it sent you on a journey of your own self-discovery, and then you found that, and then now you're able to share that with others, and along your path you met all these beautiful women that definitely were a part of my journey. Shout out to Tama, shout out to Satra. I don't know how to pronounce her Oshun Ajala, but we are. And shout out to you for your work. I definitely feel like, especially for women of African descent, it's important to do our womb healing work. You know, everything lives within our womb. You know, everything starts from there. And we know that our ancestors, we're carrying ancestors within our womb, you know, soon ancestors, those that are to come forward, they are present with us. And so when I started to find that out, like I was present in my grandmother's womb, living in my mother's womb, you know, and I was seeing the world from her eyes then, like it started to get more clear why different things are passed down, you know, like you were saying, even if you're not the one to experience that trauma directly, you're still affected by it, you know, and so that was pivotal to me in my own journey of discovering that, you know, like all of those things live in me. So even though I wasn't necessarily the cause of those things, it's my responsibility to do that ongoing healing. Okay, my post. So, yeah, so if you could just tell me just a little bit, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but if you could just tell me just a little bit more of what you're going to be offering in Afrikan Mysteries School specifically.
I'm going to be offering the metaphysics of the womb and how to release ancestral trauma. Very, very important. You know, a lot of our trauma based emotional states and physical and psychological states are inherited, and we don't necessarily recognize it. We think it's us, and it's the, you know, it's grandmama, it's grandmama stuff, it's granddaddy stuff. You know, it's interesting because I had a reading by a powerful Palo priestess, and my grandfather came through. My great grandfather came through. Now, when he was here, he was cutting up. I didn't even put him on the altar because that's how cold he was out here, you know. But and when everybody was to step up and speak to me, everyone was behind him, but he was the spokesperson for the transitioned ancestors. And he told me I did not do the family well when I was there. And I am correcting that through you. I need you to know we are working with you on this side so that you can help correct some of what I've done and what we've done to, you know, our lineage. That was so powerful for me because when that happened, I wouldn't put him on that ancestors. Because I didn't have him there because he was such a cut up. You know, I was like, you're not going up there. No. You know, but yeah, I went and honored him because they actually allowed him to step up and they stood behind him while he spoke for all of them. And I thought that was very, very powerful, especially with all the stories I heard about him cutting up. So just as the trauma is passed down, so is the healing. Yeah. The methods of healings are passed down too. We just have to activate them and remember.
Indeed.
So that's
your great grandfather sounds like a powerful Itango in our tradition. And Ubungoma, he would be known as an Itango because he was who walked the earth, you know, and he is one of your main guys. So it sounds like he, you know, is here. And that's important. I always tell a lot of the, you know, the people that I work with, you know, it's important to truly know yourself because then you're able to distinguish what is yours and what's not yours, you know, especially as a spiritual woman, because we're constantly channeling and taking on so much of other people's stuff. It's easy to say, oh, this is mine. Oh, this depression is mine. Oh, this thing is mine, you know? And it's like, no, actually it's not. If you really sit with yourself, you'll see. And then you'll even begin to see the patterns in your family, like it happening over and over again, you know? And so I feel like one of the greatest ways to heal our ancestors and to heal our lineage is by making powerful choices, by knowing yourself and understanding what is right for you. I always say not everything that our ancestors did was well and good, right? There are some traditions that need to pass on. So just because it's ancestors, it doesn't mean that it needs to to keep going, you know. So shout out to your great grandfather, Makos,
Yes,
for having and saying,
yes.
like, I need you to make your own choices and do the right thing. So close it to that. Let's see. So our last piece, being that you have gone through your own journey and your own rites of passage, in a sense, and you're still doing your own work. And I know that you know the importance of initiation as you've gone through initiation to be a womb priestess, and you are continually initiating other women into this rites of passage, you know, into the womb. What would you say to our potential students, our potential initiates in Afrikan Mystery School about the benefits of going through rites of passage?
Well, rites of passage is something that has always been in our culture. You know, we had a rites of passage for everything, and they are necessary. They are necessary because when you go through rites of passage, what you are receiving is information and activation. Okay, you're receiving information and activations for you to go forth and continue not only just in your purpose, which is very important, but your purpose is connected to the ancestors and the descendants.
Mm-hmm.
And these initiation and rites of passages are important, and this was a part of our lifestyle, a part of our culture, a part of our lineage in which we stopped doing. But for those who are just coming in and you don't necessarily understand initiation, and it may sound a little fearful, we are being initiated every time we have a birthday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're lighting candles, we're making a wish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're talking to, every time we're being initiated when someone has a baby.
Yeah.
You know, when someone has a baby, that's a part of a rites of passage. You know, it's a rites of passage. Each year is a rites of passage. We do them in all these different levels, but we don't necessarily see them as such because they put it in plain sight like it's a normalcy. Which rites of passage for us, melanated people, indigenous people of the earth, it is a normalcy. Mm-hmm. It is a normalcy. And it's very something that we really need to get back to and take more seriously, because we have messages, we have keys, we have information, we have wisdom, you know, we have alchemy there. You know, it's so much there, you know, and once you go through these rites of passages and you trust in spirit, you know, once you're going through your rites of passage and you trust that spirit team that is involved in your next level, because that's what it is. It's your next level. It's your next level. Yeah. When you trust in that, you'll be surprised how the Creator will use you. Mm-hmm. Will use you for the abundance of your life, and also to tap into the prosperity and be abundant in others. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a believer in rites of passage and initiations. Yeah, and you know, it's called either one. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you know, and it's not so much being initiated into a religion or a cult, and you know, that's how people think of it. Yeah. You know, but it's really just going to your next level and being intentional.
Yes.
Being very intentional.
I agree. I definitely, what I've learned about rites of passage and initiation within the context of Ubungoma and Bantu tradition is it's important to go through that transition and go to that next level, but also to be witnessed, right, by community, by the community of others, right, who are supporting you, so that they can also, one, hold you accountable, right, to this new level, so that you don't seep back into your old ways, right, so that you know the community is aware of this next level, and then also just so that you can be seen, you know, like, Sambanani, I see you, I see the divine in you, I see the God in you, you know, and that in and of itself pulls out spirit. Spirit is allowed to show up, right, when somebody sees and witnesses it. So that is so important, and I love that piece that you do in your initiations, when you're initiating the women, when you're giving them their certificates, right, and you're allowing them to be seen. That's the medicine that's happening, because so much in our lives we feel like we're invisible. You know what I'm saying? We walk the earth and we feel like nobody sees us.
Heard.
Right. Nobody hears us. Nobody understands our true purpose. So the rites of passage is to say, no, I see you. I see your gift. I see, and you speak that life into a person. You'll be surprised, you know, how a person shows up once you're speaking that life into them. You know, so that's my you know, piece of rites of passage, because it was definitely pivotal to me in my own transformation. You know. To be seen and witnessed, you know, like that definitely is an important piece. So thank you so much. Do you have any parting words that you would like to share with us before we let you go?
I want to thank you. I want to thank you for including me and involving me in your purposeful spirit-led work. You
Thank
know,
you.
thank you. I thank your ancestors, but also, you know, tapping you on the shoulder and saying, "Baby, we like her."
They do love you.
Bring her on over here. We like her. Yes, and may you continue to be blessed and grow and expand, and may you continue to find solutions to your challenges. You know what I'm saying? So that you can continue to walk this earth in your purpose, in the purpose of your people. That is a contribution to our purpose, you know, because we're all connected.
Yes.
And I want to tell everyone that is even thinking about taking these beautiful and receiving these beautiful courses and these beautiful curriculums and these beautiful messages by all of these beautiful master teachers. I definitely support you. I support your healing. I support your happiness. And I know that this is going to be a wealth of knowledge that you can take with you in order for you to get and gain your next level. I mean, I'm convinced. I'm convinced. They had already told me. I got the chills. Uh-oh.
I know.
Oh, that's the spirit. Uh-oh, I got the hair on the back of my neck is up. Yes. So and know that your process, it's okay. You know, it's not a race. This is not a destination. This is a journey.
It is a journey.
This is a continuous journey. It is not a destination. There's no completion to this. We continue once we we continue. So yes, just be well and do your best. Know that we gonna mess up sometime, honey. You just pick yourself up and forgive yourself. Okay? And go back to spirit and say, okay, what do I do now? If you need a little rest and need time to regroup, do that too. That's important. That's important sometimes. Sometimes we got to retreat.
Retreat is powerful.
Yes, you know.
I know you did it. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to retreat. You got to break away. You got to go underground. You know, you got to do what you need to do, and it's okay. And those who truly love you, will support you, whether in person or far. They're going to support your happiness in your healing. And if they don't, it might be time that the relationship has expired.
Yeah.
So know that I send love, peace, and blessings to you, my beloved, and everyone that is going to be coming forth into this beautiful new thing that ancestors have given you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, your blessing. And thank you just for taking the time to join us. I know that you're busy. You just recently had a grand opening of Hey Honey. So I know you've been like doing some. Hey Honey, wellness. Yes. For those of you in the Atlanta area, you definitely want to go and get blessed by Miss Tracey. You definitely want to get that.
Yes, and also you can check us out at Love My Womb Academy.
Yes, and learn, and go through that rites of passage. I definitely I need to do that
You
as
are
well.
interested in wound wellness and pursuing that as a career. And
Yes.
just know that it's not your average school. We just not throwing herbs in a pot of water, honey. You can get this work, this medicine.
Listen, one
See?
way or another, you're gonna get it.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Mama Tracey. I appreciate your time. And for those of you who are interested in African Mystery School, you will definitely be seeing more of Miss Tracey throughout the 9-month journey, and I will be there with you. Thank you again for all of you taking time just to listen to this interview, and I will be back with another interview soon. Makos.